Good morning. It's Argyle Breakfast and it is great to have you with us on this Saturday morning. A whole month has already whizzed by and we are into September now with a lot more fixtures to look forward to. And the games, as you know, keep coming with the one today, Stockport. It's a first meeting with Stockport County since 2004 for Argyle today. That is a whole 21 years since the last time we played them. That to come, of course, later on this afternoon. But as always, between now and then, we've got a lot to get through on Argyle Breakfast to keep you entertained this morning. So let's have a look at what we've got on the way. We will be joined by the Head of Football Operations, David Fox, here in the studio to talk us through Argyle's work in the transfer market. And following that, we will be joined here just after 11:30 by Roman Lario. He played for the club the last time we played Stockport during that promotion season in 2004. So lots of great things to come, plenty more that we haven't even touched on yet. And also, we will be having an attempt at Get the Badge In at the end of the programme. And I'm pleased to say it's my turn this week. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure there will be lots of ribbing to come for that one. And helping me to get through this morning and also probably taking the mick out of me when it comes to Get the Badge In is none other than Aaron Cusack here in the breakfast studio.
Good morning, Aaron.
How are you?
I'm very well.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that slot a bit later.
Because me and you have
Yes.
both done Get the
We
Badge
have,
In now. They've obviously chosen, well, you know, best first,
Absolutely.
I suppose.
Well, I'm not sure I was much worse, to be fair. Or much better, I should say.
Or maybe it's an elaborate bluff.
No, indeed. We'll have to wait and see.
You'll have to wait and find out. We could do like a poker face and actually see.
It was good fun, nonetheless.
Do you know what? Yeah, it was more difficult than I expected,
Yes.
but it is quite good fun. And of course, if you ever play Get the Badge In along with us at home, you should let us know how you get on. We have got Xander, who's part of the breakfast team, who had a go. What did he? Oh, I mean, if we can get that officially,
he would be top. Yeah, he would be top.
If we can get Xander on record, he would be top.
Yeah.
So we'd be definitely interested to see how some of the fans get on. We've got a really packed show this morning.
We have,
Aaron.
yeah, lots of
live
varied,
guests.
lots of varied guests as well. Really
Yes.
good. I really like the variety. That's on the show later.
I think in particular as well, this is a really nice time to be talking to David Fox about the transfer window, and also, you know, get some fan questions to him as well, because I think that is part of the service that the breakfast show offers, is being that bridge between the fans and the club.
Absolutely. I mean, people are curious, aren't they? They want to know answers, and if we can, as a club, relay information that has clarity and people can understand what's been done, reasons why they've done it, then I think people can empathise with things a little bit more. I think where sometimes there's a breakdown in communication, I speak for all clubs, not just Argyle, but fans get a little bit frustrated when they don't seem to know why things have happened. So hopefully we can continue to be that bridge, make things clearer.
So if we turn our attention now to Dear England,
Yes.
which is coming up Monday after next,
15th
I believe,
to the 20th.
15th. Yeah. I suppose if we look at it on paper, if you were going to try and get a football fan that wasn't previously interested in theatre into theatre, this could be the gateway potentially.
Absolutely, yeah.
Talk me through, what is Dear England?
Dear England is an extraordinary and multi-award winning play. It started its life at the National Theatre a couple of years ago. It tells the story of Gareth Southgate's time as England manager. And it is an incredible show. The set is extraordinary. And it's all about how Gareth really turned around the fortunes of the men's club. But it's not just about football. It's about pride. It's about being pride in our nation, pride in cities, pride in being a football player, and looks a lot into the sort of psychology of what it is to be proud, to be great at your sport, to be great at your game. And it sort of compares what it means to be a football player to what it means to be English. And it won multiple awards, and we're starting the tour here in Plymouth on behalf of the National Theatre, so a massive moment for us. And you're absolutely right. If you've not been to TRP for a really long time, or you think TRP is not for you, but you love Argyle and you love football, this is a fantastic reason to come along.
And it's really topical in, a couple of years, since Gareth Southgate and all of that going on. But how unusual is it to have a play like this where it's focusing on like really current events or very recent history?
Yeah,
a lot of performance in theatre is kind of legacy, isn't it?
It really is. And I think what we really know about Dear England is that it is about what's happening now in the world. And you know, you're right, it might feel to football fans that Gareth Southgate's time as England manager feels like a long time ago, but we know that the themes of the play and the things that it talks about in relation to football and how football is so important to particularly the people of this country is, you know, that's just not going to die. That remains the same.
Yeah.
We've spoken about it previously as Argyle as a club, how it goes beyond just playing the game.
Yeah.
And this is the similar thing, isn't it? Where you know, Southgate was capable of bringing the country together,
Totally.
to stand shoulder to shoulder, irrelevant of, you know, race, gender, whatever, we're all in it together.
Totally.
And some people don't like reading, for example.
Nope.
But this tells a story in a more kind of animated way.
Yeah, totally. And I think, you know, something that the play touches on a lot is about like your responsibilities if you're a player. You know, think about my 8-year-old who loves Argyle and just thinks about all those players as if they're like gods, you know, and just thinks they're like the most famous people in the entire world. Would be shaking if, you know. And in fact, Ryan Hardy was, when he turned up at the school, at the playground, when he put his little boy into the same school that my boy goes to, it was like everyone in the kids were like, "What's Ryan Hardy doing in my playground?"
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, those responsibilities beyond the game and beyond the matches are so important, and the play really sort of delves into that.
Welcome back. We have David Fox with us here live in the studio to answer some of your questions about the transfer window. And I'm pleased to say we've got some messages in now, so I shall put them to you. First question from Mark Gilbert, who says, why did it take until we had played 4 league games to replace a striker and 2 centre-halves that are key to any team? I think you kind of touched on this a little bit, but just to go back to it.
Yeah, just making sure we got the right ones. I think... Yeah, obviously we were in for centre forwards before that that we couldn't get for various reasons, and then we were lucky to get, well, not lucky, but we managed to get the ones we wanted. I think you know, we were keen to go with what we had, and then obviously the results meant that we had to sort of pivot a little bit, and we're pleased to bring in a couple of centre backs that we did. But yeah, listen, you want everyone in before the start of the season for sure. You want them all in before pre-season. Let's be honest, but unfortunately that wasn't to be the case, and thankfully now we've got those players in, and hopefully now they can start to gel and get a bit of understanding and togetherness.
Yeah, we've got a message here from Kenny, who wants to know what the transfer criteria was at the start of the window, and did it change at any point?
The criteria was certainly to bring in young, dynamic and hungry players that wanted to be here. We want to see assets on the football pitch, but at no point should that be at the detriment of getting results. I think that's the balance that at the minute we've not quite got, and what we need to get is the short-term results, but also think a little bit more medium to long-term, and not be so just everything's in on one thing, and then you come to the end of a summer and you end up having to get rid of 17 odd players, move on. We can't have that.
Yeah.
So there was certainly a sort of a remit to bring in young players, our own players, to work, to develop them, and to go on a journey together. And listen, it's not been an easy start for sure, but we have to think a little bit more longer term, a little bit more what the future could look like. And hopefully it's with these players, hopefully they can progress and stick together. But on the flip side of that, we know we've got to get results at the minute.
I'm just conscious, because you mentioned the criteria of being like younger players, for example, there. And one of the other points that Kenny has made is can you speak about the need to address like a lack of experience in the team? Obviously some, you know, for example, we've lost, as you mentioned, a lot of players, big players that have been associated with the club for a long time and have had a lot of experience. So where is the balance then between getting in these young players and also making sure we have the experience in the squad?
Oh no, absolutely. You have to find the right balance. What I would say is that there is experience in the squad. It's just we've not been able to get them on the pitch, and that's been the biggest problem this season for me, is that we've not been able to get our older, more experienced players on the pitch. You think of Connor Hazard's not kicked a ball, Jack McKenzie, 25 years old, played in Europe, played in Scotland, a really good age, he's not kicked a ball yet. We're missing Brendan Galloway, we're missing Jamie Patterson, we've missed Joe Edwards. Now all these players are plenty of experience, and they are at the football club. It's just we've not been able to get them on the pitch yet. They're coming back. I think Connor and Jack McKenzie will be like, obviously they'll be new signings because they've not played yet. They'll bump the age of the profile of the squad up. Jamie Patterson will be fit. Joe Edwards is going to be fit. So all of a sudden, you know, you've got Brendan Galloway. There is experience at the club. It's just we've not been able to get them on the pitch as much as we'd have liked. And then I think if you look at some of the other ones that we do have, despite their young ages, I do think they have a lot of experience. When you look at Barley, you know, he's only 23, but he's played a lot of games. Brendan Wiradu, 25, played a lot of games. Alex Mitchell, he's young in age, but he's played a lot of games. He got promoted last season. So there is experience at the club. It's just unfortunate that we've not been able to get them all together yet, and I think that will come when we get lads back in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. There's a one from Lewin here. Whether you can quantify it in an exact number, how much of the budget was spent in the summer transfer window? 50%, 70%? And will there be more for January?
I think there'll always be discussions with the board in terms of January. We don't want to have money sitting around doing nothing. We want to get the best that we can out of it. But the board, the owner, have been great in terms of being able to do things. So, yeah, listen, there'll be discussions around what January looks like. I'm sure there'll be movements, ins and outs, because there always is, but hopefully not to the levels we've had before. But yeah, there'll be discussions, and the work's already begun on what the January window looks like already, and what we'll need going forward, and what we'll put in place to make sure that we can strengthen and get better in January as well.
Because there was a lot of talk before about this top six budget, you know, coming into League One. Is that a help or a hindrance, having that kind of, you know, tagged on to Argyle as a figure?
For me, it means nothing to me.
Right.
I'm sure that it creates a lot of noise, and I'm sure it's something, you know, I'm getting beaten with all the time. But budget, regardless of budgets, you've still got to, whatever it is, you've got to do better than what you've got. And at the minute, we're probably not, and we have to do better. I don't want to use that as an excuse. I don't think that gives you a divine right to win football matches or to lose football matches. You have to produce better. You have to produce better with what you get, and hopefully, when we get a few of those older ones back and a bit of experience, and all of a sudden the team starts taking a bit of shape, we can get to nearer where we need to be.
Damien Goodall would like to know, what does your day-to-day look like since you've been in at the club?
It's just, being here every day. I like to watch training, to see how the lads are, make sure that the atmosphere, the feeling around the place is good. I sit in on the coaches meeting, the multidiscipline team meeting, making sure that we're all working together and that everyone is off the same page. And then obviously during the window, you're speaking a lot to the recruitment team and taking on board what they're saying and what they're wanting to do and trying to put those into effect. I mean, and then obviously then you've got upwards with Andrew and Simon and the board and sort of making sure that they're aware of what's going on. So yeah, it's been very full on. It's been very hectic. And a lot to deal with, but no, it's what I expected it to be.
And speaking of recruitment, a lot of people want to know, what is your relationship with Tom Randall like?
Yeah, it's fine. He's been doing this for a long time. He's put together teams that have got promoted. He's got teams out of this league before, and he's good at what he does. And yeah, I've seen him a couple of times. Speak to him probably every day, 2 or 3 times every day. During the window, he speaks to the manager. We have meetings with the manager, quite regular, and then we take on board sort of what the recruitment team wants to do and who they should get for what the manager wants, and we go and try and get the players.
We are almost done with Argyle Breakfast this morning, but we do still have one last guest to bring you. Roman Lario played in an Argyle shirt 318 times, won promotion twice, and even coached a side. And he's here back in the Argyle Breakfast studio with us now. Good morning.
Morning.
Feels like we've had a busy transfer
I
window
know.
in the studio. You're our third guest
Yeah.
this
Ah,
morning.
okay.
It's
High
been-
turnover.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind in here. You are, a bit of a regular on Argyle Breakfast now. We've had you in before. Lovely to have you back again this season. How is everything going with you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Just finished a holiday period, which was nice, and back to work and back to school for the kids. Yeah, same old busy.
Yeah, classic September
Yeah.
kind of vibes, isn't it? Of course, I mean, you're here. We'll talk about your career with Argyle as well. But, when we were looking at Argyle up against Stockport County, the last time it happened was back in 2003, 2004,
Yeah.
which is very much your era.
Yeah. Although I missed those games through injury, that's the year where I played the start of the season, then did my cruciate. So I don't think I played Stockport. I can't remember, but I played them in the FA Cup, I'm sure. Oh no, but I don't know. I mean, it all becomes a blur after. But I've played them before. I know I have. But we lost down there. I remember playing down there and we lost. But yeah, they've done well to come back where they are now, because they looked dead a few years ago, and they've managed to find a way to be back in League One and with a competitive team already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Aaron and I were just, doing a bit of analysis on the team and where they are at the minute. Lost one, and last season they were,
Well,
up
third,
there.
weren't they?
Exactly.
Just missed out on play automatic.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be a bit of a tough ask this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, we are home. I think it levels here. Any team comes down here, even if we are not in the best in terms of confidence situation. Games can be decided on goals. I was here for the Barnsley game. I've not really seen anything since Barnsley, and I'd watched Torquay away. But the Barnsley game, if the first goal goes in, I think it's a different game. I think we might be having a totally different conversation now, because there was 6 or 7 players making their home park debut, and they'd started all well, and we had the better of Barnsley and scored a goal, which was disallowed, rightly or wrongly. I was there. I didn't see it. It was right in line. I couldn't see what the linesman gave. I didn't see it live. But I do believe that if that goal goes in, it changes everything. And they've got to believe in that, because goals will change game and seasons. It's still now. There's 40 games to play. Come on. There's no time to be restless, especially the Green Army. Is just we're going to need time. There's a lot of new players.
Yeah. I mean, of course, in your career, you have had the fortunate experience of being on promotion-winning sides. And when you look at that, there will also, of course, been times when things weren't going so well as well. And the run that Argyle are in at the minute, it's not a particularly great run, as Aaron said before. They're in a bit of a hole. They need to work to get themselves out of it. How difficult is it as a player to, try and drag yourself up out of a bad run of games?
It's tough. It's the toughest position to be in, apart from being injured, when you're losing, because it's a habit. It's a habit, like winning is a habit.
Yeah.
And right now, it's hard for them. It's hard for the manager, who's trying to build a team with a lot of new players. When the competition is already started, it's really hard to do. Having said that, from what I've seen at Torquay and here against Barnsley, there is a lot of quality in my eyes in this team. There's a lot that can be used, and I know he will get it. If not, he wouldn't have brought the players here. So I'm not worried. I can't say I'm worried with the run of results. There is some away problems which have been there way before the manager arrived. That's got to be sorted. It's too many goals. You can't lose that many goals away from home like we've been for the last 3 years. Even, and no critics. When Shuey was there, for his last 6 months, we were losing a lot of goals, like easy goals as well. But we had a lot of players to score goals at the time.
Yes.
But they've all gone and play. I mean, 2 play for Middlesbrough, which tells you how good they were. But at the minute, to score the amount of goals we needed, it's too much. It's not sustainable. You have got to be, when you go away from home, and it's virtually where you can turn it around is when you go away and do a job. It doesn't have to be pretty. it's just like 11 men fighting for even a 0-0 draw. It's a great result away from in terms of building confidence.
Yes.
But we look so far away from that, from achieving that, which is what that needs to be working on. But I'm sure they're aware of it.